The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack this like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. It is Friday, May 17th, 2024. I am your host, Scott Lewis. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChatScott. You can follow the Barbers Chat Network at BarbersChatNet on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, you can follow H&B Media at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram. Get in tune with our sponsors, Pillars. You can visit them at pillarsclub.co, Pillars_club on Instagram, or you can visit any of their 3 Chicagoland locations. There's one in the West Loop over there on Madison. There's one in Chicago Ridge Mall, and there's also one in the Orland Park Mall, man. Get all of your gear. They've got new 40% off sales, so check out everything they've got going on Pillars, man. Of course, you can subscribe to the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. That's where we have our Chicago Sports Local Hour, and you're going to want to tune in today because in the Local Hour today, we're going to do a full schedule breakdown of the Chicago Bears. We're going to go through all 17 games, give our predictions. We're going to tell you what we like about the schedule and what we don't like about the schedule. The homie Mike Willis from Pillars will be joining us in the Local Hour to talk about that. The homie, the boy Illinois, the man who makes the song, and then the intro that you just heard at the beginning, by the way, is streaming right now on all platforms, man. The boy Illinois, I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Play that on Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, everything is out there right now. He'll be joining us in the second hour to talk about tonight's NBA action. The New York Knicks on the road in Indianapolis trying to close out the Indiana Pacers in advance to the first Eastern Conference Finals appearance in 24 years. We're going to talk about Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves forcing the Game 7 last night. 45-point blowout of the world champions. That Game 7 will be on Friday. And then we're also going to be talking about what's going on in Cleveland. There's a lot of Cavs drama going on. Is Mr. LeBron Raymond James plotting to come home part 3? We're going to be talking about all of that, and as well as Luka trying to close out the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow. And this is a mainly NFL show, so we're going to get into the NFL schedule as well. But before I bring in my amazing crew, it's time for my sound off. I told everybody in the group chat that I was going to clear the lane out today for at least the first 5-10 minutes because I got a lot of stuff on my mind today when it comes to the sound off. I haven't felt like I had a really good sound off in a while, so I'm going to start with this one. I have like a 3-part sound off. First of all, Diddy needs to be under the jail. Let's just get that out the way right now. If there was any confusion, if there was any of you losers out there who felt that, I need to see video proof, there's your proof. But I don't even think jail is enough for what I want to really say about what needs to happen to do. But let's just get that out the way, number one. But I just want to say the big story this morning was about golfer Scottie Scheffler. And I just want to say, I personally don't care about the situation. The reason I don't care about the situation is because, oh, it's shocking that a white man got off in a situation that no black man would have got off. In that particular situation, and he's having a confrontation with the police, not only would he have not been able to golf right now, the nigga would still be in jail. Number two, he might not be walking. So the reason I don't really care about the situation is because, okay, we're seeing white men with privilege all the time. I'm just not finna waste breath about something that I just know that's just it is what it is at this point. I'm not saying it's right. It's terrible. I wish the world wasn't like this, but it is what it is. I'm not finna be over here just losing sleep over this thing. I don't care about this situation. You're seeing, as we've seen countless times, the privilege in these type of situations. A black man can do this. A black man gets. We've seen a black man get killed on television, and everybody's like, "Well, I don't know. We don't." He looked like the police officer was assaulted. I don't really know. There's nothing that's going to change this particular situation. So I'm just not going to personally get up in arms about that. Like I said, if you have different opinion on that, that's fine. This is my show. This is my opinion. This is my segment. I don't care about Scottie Scheffler. To be 100% real with you, I didn't even know who this nigga was to this morning. I don't watch golf. If it's not Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy or Dante, I don't know no niggas who golf. So that's just me. I didn't even know who Scottie Scheffler was this morning anyway. So that's even more of what my point is. Number two, Drake stands. Stop it. Not just Drake stands, Little Yachty and all these little other niggas in the industry who are throwing capes for what happened. The man lost the beef. He lost the battle. We're not saying that he's not going to be successful anymore. We're not saying that he didn't. He's got, that nobody wants to hear anything from Drake. But stop with the excuses. Talking about he already lost for the battle. Stop. Nah. This thing has only been 6 weeks. Like that dropped 6 weeks ago. It ain't been that long. I remember when push-ups dropped. I remember when Taylor Made Freestyle dropped. And Drake himself drop. He's baiting the nigga, putting on Instagram, use me as they have nothing to drop button, posting up pictures of Kendrick's manager and baiting him every day. And now he's getting bullied. Get out of my face, dog. Like, stop it. For some of you who act like, oh, what if you're gonna take Drake out, who's gonna make the money in the industry? Number one, if you think rap niggas is the number one people making money in this industry, that's problem number one. Number two, if Drake is the only reason that rap is afloat right now, that's problem number two. Number three, he didn't get assassinated. He just lost a rap battle. Jay-Z lost a rap battle. I don't know about you, but after he lost that rap battle, he got with Beyonce and he dropped another couple classic albums and became a billionaire. I think that nigga made out just fine. Drake will be okay. You guys need to stop going out like losers. You sound like Trump fans, MAGA guys, when he lost the election to Biden. There wasn't any problems with the electoral college. He got washed. It's just that plain and simple, man. Let it go. You will be fine. Now, this third part in my sound off, I actually want to bring the crew in for this because I want to hear you three's opinion on this as well. Now, first we got to bring in Dante, bring in Bank, and also for the first time in a long time, give it up for Courtney. She is back.
What's up, guys? So good to see you all. Happy to be back.
Is glad to have you back. Not that I don't enjoy my time with Dante and Bang, but it's good to have you back. I'll be glad when Mikey can join us. Mikey is on the barber's chair IR right now. Heal up, my brother. We'll be waiting for you when you get back. But before we get into the final sound off topic, how are you doing, Courtney?
I'm doing so well. Playoff hockey has me in a chokehold right now. So honestly, you could tell me right now that Greg Maddux pitched yesterday, and I would believe you. Hi, Orlando. Good to see you, bud.
Alex says, okay, or keep your pants on, bud.
Oh, we are so back, baby. We are so back.
He said, we need Dante, a.k.a. Folks Lundquist, to tell us about Scheffler.
Okay,
yes.
I have one thing to say about that.
Go ahead.
It's not about Scottie Scheffler, okay? I want to highlight that this is the same law enforcement office that was responsible for the untimely death of Breonna Taylor.
It is.
And I think, if anything, it highlights with that that law enforcement office that they have a systemic issue. If this is how you treat her, then this is how you treat, the number one golfer in the world, a very visible golfer, okay, coupled with the fact that on these player cars, there's tons of signage and markings on the car indicating that this is, somebody. Come on, man. We got to be better. We got to demand better out of our law enforcement officers. That's all I got.
Yes. And now that was kind of my point, was we know they're not going to do better.
Yeah, my hope is that maybe with this situation, because it happened to the number one golfer in the world, the winner of the Master, the two-time Masters winner, that maybe it'll highlight the fact that that they have an issue and that there is an issue with over policing.
Man, white people don't even know that white man.
Right. And I hope one day that Maya Jama responds to my Instagram DMs. Sometimes that don't happen. Sometimes
first of all,
during the conversation. That's always a solid place to start.
As much as we say at the start of it won't, because at the end of the day, if that was Harold Varner III, they would have beat the sleeves off that nigga. Like, they knew who Scotty Scheffler was. That's why the owner of the golf club was the one who went to the police station and drove him to the tournament. The man was in custody for an hour. Now, I will say it was a weird abuse of power that they actually made him change clothes and put on a jumpsuit for absolutely no reason at all, because in most of their mugshots down there, they don't have them. So they said that was definitely a choice, trying to embarrass the man. So that means you knew who he was. And so it's just silly as fuck for them to do that. Now, I understand Scott not giving a fuck, because golf is one of those sports where a lot of people know who they are. That's just is what it is.
It's not even about the golf. I'm just one of the people who, like, I know that, like, racism's been around
Well,
forever.
let's not act like fucking Tiger Woods wasn't out here driving off a fucking perk. Okay.
Okay. Look. Okay. Hold on. Tiger didn't commit a crime. Tiger was just cheating and was a.
He got caught cheating. Yeah.
It freak man.
He freak man. Over for like a DWI or something because he was driving.
Tiger's a 69 guy. Okay, like that's it.
But Dante, I got a question.
Yeah.
Dante, I got a question. You got the hat on and all that stuff. I'm a sports guy. I'm a sports guy. I know names. Scotty Scheffler, however you say his last name, is not even top 5 white man.
No, that's not. But it's mainly because
I know Phil Mickelson. I know Phil Mickelson. I know Ernie Els.
Them niggas don't play no more, but
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just shows you. I know these niggas. I know these niggas. I know Fuzzy Zello. I know these niggas. I don't know this nigga. So I'm asking a legit question because I understand. Hey, the owner of the golf joint. Hey, let me go ahead and get him. Is it just possible, especially if that cop was a black man, because we don't know his race. We know the dude that was telling Jeff Darlington ass to get the hell back, and he was like, "Oh, is it possible that they just did not know this particular white man? They knew he was a golfer. They didn't know he was the golfer."
I can't believe that, simply because there was other golfers who went the same route. Now I can't say that the road was blocked off.
He was literally standing like 10 yards away, filming the whole thing, and he was trying to tell him, like, do you know who this is, but like, do you know who that is? Type shit. So I'm like, I think you're right, Dante.
But to get him a little bit of credit, the road was blocked off because somebody got hit and killed by it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, so but like that, the route that they were taking, all of the golfers were going around it because they had an early tee time. So it was just a crazy misunderstanding. It's wild that he got the charges that he got in a couple. He got one felony, but they're gonna throw it all out.
They're gonna drop that shit.
It's gonna be a slap on the wrist.
That's bad PR.
I just want to make sure he's not like top white man on my list.
But no. He's the hottest. He's the best golfer alive.
Oh, I know that.
He won the Masters in 2022 and this year. And he won the Players Championship.
He's on fire.
Yeah, I know his resume. He just had a baby.
And he's from right down the street in Highland.
He just had a baby, and he was gonna lead it to I think it was the Masters. He was gonna dip if his wife got in the labor and shit. I know the resume, but if you line him up, if we was at a bar, Dante, I'd be like, "Yo, why everybody over there doing?" And you'd be like, "Yo, that Scott." Like, "Oh, I know that nigga."
He has a real Mike Trout face, as I like to say. Like, if he walked in, nobody would know who the fuck he was. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know the resume. I didn't know who this nigga was this morning. I was like, why is this leading off first take? Yeah, I'm like, why is this leading off first take after what Anthony Edwards just did last night? What are we doing? So I was you rich. But Let's get to the last stop of my sound off that I wanted you guys' opinion on, man. This is opening week in the WNBA. I watched a lot of WNBA this week. I watched a lot of WNBA this week. I don't know why Bang said that. Like I'm finna go to a dark place.
What's he about to say now?
Like I'm finna go to a dark place. I
might go to a dark place.
Okay, basically what I'm saying is, look, opening week of the WNBA. I watched more WNBA. This is most WNBA I've watched since the Skies championship run 3 years ago.
Shout out to Scott.
I checked out all of Caitlin Clark's games. I checked out the Aces, their game against Phoenix. I saw there was another game I saw too. I saw the Skies opener in Dallas.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, they got smacked up.
That was nice.
Yeah, they got smacked up. Dallas was on there. I also saw why they had the Sparks playing at Compton Community College when the Staples Center is currently empty. I don't understand it. Ain't no basketball being played in Staples Center right now. You can let them use
Freestyle Unity opened up that game. Freestyle Unity opened up that game.
Freestyle Unity. So yeah, I don't understand that. But my question to y'all is what I've been seeing now. Do y'all think there's some WNBA gatekeeping? Because I feel like there's a lot of people who have new eyes on the WNBA, me being included, because this very popular rookie class, of course, is headlined by Caitlin Clark, but she's not the only one. You got Angel Reese, you got Cardozo, you got Cameron Brink, you got a whole bunch of these other ladies. I know I'm missing a couple as well, but there's new eyes on the product. And with people coming into this, they're giving takes. But I feel like people who have been long time W fans who've been yelling at us the last 3 years to watch the product are now yelling at us for watching the product.
That's funny, isn't it?
It's funny. It's like, I don't get that. Now, I understand we've been talking about the Caitlin Clark hate for a minute. I understand that. And it looks like Diana Taurasi's words are being prophetic right now, even though they threw up against two of the best teams in the league. They threw up against a very good defense. Yeah, Connecticut has a really good defense. You're going up against who's the first team they played? It was
they played
Liberty last night. They played Liberty last night. They played Liberty again tomorrow in New York at Barclays. It's probably gonna get dark again. But you got some people where they're acting like we shouldn't be fans of Caitlin Clark. I'm like, you should be rooting for Caitlin Clark because it's putting more eyes on the product. The better she does, the better the W does. And I'm saying, which one is it? Is it Uchi Wally or is it One Mike? Do you want us to watch the product or do you don't want us to watch the product? Because I feel like it's real. You don't even go here. Real Mean Girls vibes to new fans of the W. I'm going to go to Courtney first. What do you think about that?
Yeah, listen, that's like with everything that gets popular, right? Like artists, for example, that people were like, oh, I've been listening to this guy since he dropped that mixtape back in 2003, and now I can't even get a ticket, to the show because, I'm being priced out because he went viral on TikTok. Like it's at a certain point, you either want the person, or in this case, the product to be successful. So you have to make more room for people, at the table, or you don't. Otherwise, you want it to fail. I think true fans of the game are okay and are receptive to new eyes on the game. The only problem with when you start bringing in new voices is you get people that maybe don't necessarily understand or appreciate the history and the context of the game. So they start firing off rapid takes, just based on whatever armchair analysis that they absorbed from sports talk radio and stuff. So that's a problem. I will say, I thought it was real cheesy. The Connecticut Sun, that first game of the season, I don't know if y'all saw it. They did, they in games, they do these in-arena fan cams. Well, they did a bandwagon cam. And they went to everybody in the audience that had on Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jerseys and Iowa shirts. And I'm like, that's just it's so corny. Like, come on, how are you going to insult the people who are literally in there but paying money to help grow your game? It's so silly to me. It's so stupid.
It's also silly because, like you said, the high takes, but that's when you know you're a popular league. Because the NBA got had a worse discourse in sports. In the NFL, I thought, which was hallowed ground, isn't anymore either. People in the NFL Twitter is just as bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, before we got on this show, I argued with some idiot who said that he didn't understand why in the rankings on PFF they had the Bears wide receiver core higher than the Vikings wide receiver core. And I'm like, you drop Addison off on the Bears right now, he's wide receiver number 3. His response was, well, Jettis is better than the whole team. That doesn't mean the wide receiver core is better. Use your head. So when it comes to like the WNBA, yeah, you're going to get bad takes, but that just means people watching to me because there wasn't no takes for it. And I understand how I think the music comparison you just made was a great one. There's a lot of people who, oh, well, you know, I was a fan of this guy forever. I've been a fan of J. Cole since day one. How dare you hop on album number 2? Yeah, so there is that kind of vibe to it, but I feel like the discourse has to change a little bit, and maybe it will. It's early in the season, only been the first week. I hope it changes because I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. But my whole thing is just like, look, I feel like you should be welcoming. Now, does the WNBA do a good job of helping their case? No. I do feel that maybe they should have waited till all the teams get charter flights before they charter flights, because now it's looking like Caitlin Clark, like, oh, okay, yeah, you do what you want when you popping. You know, you still got Angel Reese, her debut, she's on a commercial flight. You got the MVP and Asia Wilson, 2-time champions, they're on the commercial flight. But then you see Caitlin, she on the PJ, niggas back there playing dominoes. They having a good time. Yes, the WNBA isn't doing the best at the same time, but I just hope the discourse gets better. Bang, what you think about this situation?
I think it's lame. Just call it what it is, or I'll call it what it is for me. You have to realize that people are not fans of certain things for certain reasons. And you might not necessarily agree with that reason, but that's their reason. I remember when the WNBA started. Matter of fact, I'll even go like a year before that. I remember when the ABL started. That was the league where a lot of women signed with that league, and was contractually obligated to play in that league. And then the NBA came through and said, no, we're going to do a WNBA. And that's why some of those players was in that league and couldn't get into the WNBA until a little bit later. And I remember watching Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper. I remember that whole 4P. I watched it. I also remember the Miami Soul and how they was defunct like after a couple of years. And some of these others in some of these other leagues, it's also a shortened league. It's like 40 games, not a lot of players, not a lot of games. And they really just upgraded their playoffs. So it felt like really a spring league. And you go look at football and how it's been hard for them to have some type of a league like that. All right. So then you also start to get older. So, hey, I started to lose interest in the WNBA. All right. And I came back because of Caitlin Clark. I came back because of Angel Reese. So don't come down on me because I've returned, or don't come down on other people because they just got here. That's the whole point of the whole thing around marketing and promotions. There's a lot of people who are not fans or not aware, but certain things bring them in. I can say the same thing about boxing. I love boxing. If there's one sport outside of basketball and football that I watch the most, is boxing. It could be Tuesday night fights, how it used to be on ESPN and the USA Network. And it could be two random ass dudes that's fighting for a random ass title. I'm going to watch that. Part of the reason why I'm going to watch that is because in boxing, that person that you watch right now, 5 years from now, be fighting for a title. But I'm not going to be like, oh man, y'all was late on this dude. When we have discourse around Floyd Mayweather Jr., people know about Floyd Mayweather Jr. because of Money Mayweather. They know money. I'd be like, no, I know the old Floyd who fought Diego Corrales, but I'm not about to get upset and wild out because somebody didn't know he knocked Diego Corrales 5 times and won that match, but instead he's saying that he picks his fights. Like, that does not make any sense. The whole point is to celebrate and grow. And if you're talking to people who are now being holier than thou because you are now in tune with the WNBA and now trying to shit on you because all of a sudden you're into it, then they're not really a fan of this thing in the first place. They're just trying to use this as an excuse to try to make you look small. I'm sorry. That whole gatekeeping thing, I don't care if it's music, sports, fashion, or whatever. That whole thing is lame to me. Be excited that somebody is jumping on your game. You can educate them about certain things, but the minute that you try to come down on folks and be like, oh, did you, oh, you a fan now? Did you watch the game last night? Nah, fam, I got a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old, plus I have a wife.
I got
a lot of I got a life, and I got a lot of shit to do, so I'm just going to miss some games here. But when that big game come on, I'm going to watch it, and you should be happy about that. So, yeah, cut that crap. That's just irritating.
I'm watching a bunch of WNBA games tomorrow since we ain't got no NBA till late night. By the way, the scheduling in these NBA games is crazy. But I'm with you, man. Very well said. Dante, Courtney, I don't know how long you've been watching WNBA, but I know Dante's been watching it for a very, very long time. What's your opinion as somebody who's been watching the league for a long time?
No, very well said by everybody. Oh, my bad. Very well said by everybody. And I think everybody's correct, but also it is a more sensitive subject because it's women's sports. And now that they were being overlooked for so long, and a lot of the shit that people say about it, when some still say, people who are in the sport, people who are covering the sport, they are very sensitive to it. And the Caitlin Clark situation just really threw gasoline on the fire that was already there. And so, I expected the gatekeeping. Obviously, it's annoying because now you got people, like you said, I've been watching WNBA for a while, and sometimes people will try to come at me sideways about it. But I mean, I expect it. So at the end of the day, I think if you're trying to grow the game, you got to expect these type of conversations. Like you said, when LSU and Iowa were playing, the whole culture war thing kicked off. And then I saw a lot of people on the timeline saying, damn, you seen a lot of the same idiotic takes we see with the NBA Twitter, you seeing it with the women's basketball. Now that's how you know the popularity is there. So I mean, you got to take the good with the bad, but at the end of the day, having more eyes on the league is great. I think that's gonna lead to more revenue. You saw this week the the Atlanta Dream announced that they're moving both of their games to State Farm Arena from their usual home arena. And Scott, for what you said, your original point about them playing in smaller arenas, the reason they play in Long Beach is because the league likes to have them in packed out arenas. So a lot of them, like prime example, the Liberty started back playing in Barclays because Anescu and they got B Stewie, so they have enough that they can fill it out. But like the Mystics, they have their own arena. Obviously, the Sky Play at Wintrust, but a lot of them have smaller arenas. Yeah, I'm surprised they play in Long Beach, but hopefully, their ownership can get them their own arena because we've seen
Magic.
We've seen more and more.
Yeah.
Like for example, the Seattle Storm just opened up a brand new $61 million facility. So like the money is being put into it, so it's only gonna grow.
Yeah, it's just at the end of the day. I'm sorry, Scott, but at the end of the day, it takes work.
Yeah,
like the NBA, it took years to the point where, remember, the NBA was almost done in the 70s. It was on tape delay.
NBA Finals on tape delay.
Is right. The NBA Finals was on tape delay as late as the mid 80s, as late as like 84, 85. It takes time. So just because you see what you see right now, that could be this boom for the WNBA. So if anything, embrace, educate, but do not try to be elitist when it comes to this. It's lame as hell. And it has nothing to do with women. Because quite honestly, if the Olympics is coming up, guess what I'm going to be watching more often than not? Women's sports, especially track and field. I love it. It's just that it just takes time for this league to get to where it's at, and they still fumbling. So if anything, if those leaders want to be mad, don't be mad at the people. Be mad at the WNBA. Be mad at the NBA. Be mad at the marketing arm. Be mad at at publications for not supporting this. Be mad at Sports Illustrated by not putting more into when they had the chance to in women's sports. Be mad at Slam magazine for not putting in. But and Nelson just said, if you look at the WNBA compared to the NBA in 25 years, the WNBA are light years ahead of where the NBA was at this time. Don't worry about the sexist shit that happens. That's going to happen. And quite honestly, just like sexism is going to happen, racism is going to happen. Because remember, white people was on TV saying, I don't like to watch the NBA because there's not people that looks like me. There's always going to be struggle, but I'm more of a person that embraces what they like and move away from what they hate. So embrace these fans who's coming in for the first time and loving it. I'm sure if I start talking about hockey and shit, Courtney's gonna be like, "Oh shit, Bang's talking about hockey.
Let's go.
Courtney will give you a list of what games to watch. Yeah,
Courtney's not gonna be like, "Oh shit, now you starting to watch hockey." Tell me was on a Winnipeg Jets.
For me, that's a net win because it's a new set of eyes that wouldn't have watched it previously that is now taking a newfound interest in it. And that's better for me as a fan because it's diversified eyes and diversified viewers. And the more of that, the better.
Absolutely. And with that being said, stay y'all ass off the golf course.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Don't want them. Don't want you there. Slowing us up.
Dante said it's enough blacks here, okay?
Go to Top Golf, my nigga.
Only a couple
golf, have your fun.
Let's not get crazy.
Struggling to get a tee time that bad, my guy. That's crazy.
Let's not get crazy.
Hey, remember Hollywood Park? Go to Hollywood Park.
Go to Hollywood Park. Get your putt on, my nigga.
Get your putt on. Don't come to our golf.
Hey, there's some sports that I will not embarrass myself on, not because of the game, but I just don't want to. Golf is one. I don't want to say nothing stupid.
Outfits though.
I'm straight. I'll walk with y'all. I'm not picking up shit.
I'm a driving range girly. Personally.
Yeah, I'll drive the car for y'all.
9 or 18.
Yeah, I'll drive the car for y'all, but Bang, nah, I don't even know what to do.
Take out his master's hat on. There's enough niggas. Go to your basketball.
It's 4 of us.
To grow the game no more. We do not need to grow the game no more.
No more growing the game.
No.
Let's move on, man. The topic that everybody wants to talk about. America's real true pastime. That is the National Football League. The NFL announced its schedule 2 days ago. I just love watching all the games get leaked on Twitter. It was very fun. Waking up to see the group chat. Bang put a new game in the chat. Mikey put a new game in the chat. I'm like, okay, let me see what my fall travel schedule gonna look like. It was coming all together, but pretty much what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over the big games. We're gonna go over some of the national TV games and just kind of get an overall opinion. We talked about the NFL season opener on Monday, but Courtney was not here, so I wanted to get her opinion on it. Thursday night, I think it's September 5th, the Kansas City Chiefs will begin their road to the three-peat at home, getting their banners against league MVP, two-time MVP, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, in a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Courtney, what you think about that matchup to start it off?
Yeah, I think that one's pretty exciting. Good way to start the season. I really kind of maybe would have preferred to see that Friday game, that Packers-Eagles game on Thursday, but obviously the champs got to play first. So I like it. I am curious to see how Derrick Henry plays, though. I know in I think 3 out of their last 5 matchups that Derrick Henry was held to less than 100 yards, including that 2020 AFC Championship game. So I'm curious to see how he does. Listen, I'm not saying that if he doesn't do well, then, it's a bust and call it. It's week 1. Lots of fluke things and adjustments are still being made in week 1. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a great matchup. Can't wait to see it.
Definitely. You might not say it's a bad trade, but Twitter will. Twitter will. As soon as it happens, look out for they got 2 running backs tweets.
Yeah.
When Pat drops 3 touchdowns this year. But let's go on to the rest of the games for week 1, the primetime games for week 1, like you just mentioned, Courtney. The first ever Brazil game, Friday night football, under the lights in Brazil. It will be the Ops, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love got to prove it to me again. I'm sorry. I'm not buying year 1. I'm not prove it to me again, nigga. And we're going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and those guys over there. I am excited to see this just because this is going to sound crazy. As a fan, I don't really care about player safety. Like I do, but I really don't. I care about my personal entertainment more than anything. And a Friday night football is just music to my ears. So I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup. The Packers are getting a lot of national TV. I won't say national TV. I think the word they use standalone games. One of my people told me standalone games. They get a lot of standalone games. We're gonna really see if Jordan Love's what people think he is. He had a great year last year. His year last year would have been the best passing season in Chicago Bears history. I'm not trying to, talk bad about him any more than I would any Packer quarterback. But year two, we gonna really see. We got a lot. We got a whole 17 games and 2 playoff games worth of film to really see if you like that. Going against the Eagles is going to be a good one. Then we got Sunday Night Football. I thought it was going to be Bears Lions Sunday Night Football. I'm actually surprised the Bears only have 5 standalone games. We'll talk about that in the local hour. But it will be a rematch of last year's playoff game between the Rams and the Lions. Matthew Stafford coming back to Detroit again. And then Monday Night Football, look, Courtney's Jets and the Niners.
Courtney's Jets. Courtney's Jets. We're back.
What do we change?
You guys must have missed.
Oh, it's not your Jets anymore?
Broncos country.
Oh,
wow.
Well,
let's ride.
Okay. Oh,
literally.
Excuse me.
Literally. Let's ride.
Y'all missed that. Y'all missed that.
Yeah.
Courtney's Broncos then. But the NFL obviously didn't learn their lesson last year. Is they are putting 7 standalone games on Aaron Rodgers' Achilles. This will be the first of 7 Monday Night Football in the Bay Area, Jets and Niners. I think these are all really 4 games. And if you want to talk game of the week, I didn't put it on here. But game of the week, Tom Brady's debut as an announcer will be the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys. I think these are 5 exciting games. I'm not going to be able to see all of these because I'm going to be at Soldier Field watching the barn burner between the Bears and the Titans. But I think these are good games to get the season started. But I think there's way too many Jets games on this. Courtney, what do you think about this? Week 1 primetime slate.
I am probably most excited for that Monday Night Football game, that Niners Jets game. But I agree with you. I think the NFL is really leaning into the Jets, and I don't, for the record, I don't wish injury on anybody. I would never do that. That's bad karma.
Except for him.
But it would be the opportunity for the funniest thing ever to happen is right there.
Leonard Floyd is on the Niners.
Yeah, the opportunity is right there. And yeah, I'm kind of over it already. I don't know why they're so obsessed. I don't know if it's maybe because he was in the same, he maybe represents like the last of the older quarterbacks. I don't know if that's what it is. Cause I'm like, there's no way y'all are getting this charged up about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Like, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. I'm over it. I'm over it already, and the season hasn't even started. It's May, and I'm over it.
I think Jets fans are over it because we saw Mike Greenberg, Greeny, on Get Up. He had a fit when he found out how many primetime games the Jets had. Rich Eisen had a fit, said that you're tempting football fate. Shout out my guy, Steph, massive Jets fan. Text me, why did they do this to us? So I think the Jets fans are fed up with it as well. But Bang, what you think about the primetime slate for week 1?
Hey man, NFL doing a little bit too much. They putting a little bit too much dip on their chip. They feeling themselves a little bit. They know they the biggest, strongest game in town right now. Don't mess it up, and don't mess it up by putting the damn Jets. Come on, the Jets for real. And I saw a quote from one of the league officials said they feel like the Jets owe us. So that's why they have those.
Yeah, so it was Mike North, the guy who puts the schedule together with Roger Goodell.
That's dumb as hell. Like the Jets owe you for what? Fuck the Jets owe you? No, the Jets owe us for always being in these situations and not succeeding in it. But yeah, they tempted fate a little bit, but at the same time, you can do that when you're in the NFL. But the game I'm looking forward to is the first game of the year anyway. You know, seeing Pat versus Lamar, first game of the year, feels like you kicking the year off with playoff atmosphere. It feels like the first episode of a show on HBO. It feels like you're about to get the cliffhanger as soon as the season starts. Don't really care about the Jets. That whole Brazil thing, I only really care about it because it is Brazil, and you're gonna be able to see some very, very nice stings. And that's in those stands.
Understatement.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I wish I was going to that game.
Man,
Send the Bears to Brazil, please, Roger. Send the Bears to Brazil.
Yeah, send the Bears.
Speaking of Brazil, the only qualm that I have that I think is kind of unfair to a degree is that it's technically a home game for Philadelphia. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah. I don't like that. That don't sit right.
If I had sympathy for Philadelphia sports fans, I would feel bad.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
I mean, that the Lions-Rams game, I think the Rams are going to be one of those teams that's disappointing. So that's not necessarily.
Yeah, can they stop trying to make the Stafford revenge tour happen?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was cool, like for that one game last season, but like, why are we trying to force that?
Right, trying to force
that.
It's
McVay. It's McVay.
On good terms, like each team is happy with the results and the outcome from like how that little swap impacted the other. Like, I don't know why we're trying to force this.
I'm telling you, Bears Lions would have moved the needle a lot more. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Bears fan. Caleb Williams making his debut at home Sunday Night Football against the team that won the division.
That would have been great ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense. So really, out of these games right here, the one game that I'm looking forward to is the game that's just going to kick off the year. The Jets and the Niners. No, I expect the Niners to destroy the Jets. I feel like this is going to be a homecoming game for them. So, because I don't trust that offensive line, that makeshift offensive line that the Jets got. So I expect Aaron Rodgers to go to God that game.
What
game.
Dre Greenlaw, Bosa, and them boys are finna do to that Achilles and that offensive line, which ain't been fixed. God bless.
And here's the women. And here's
the left tackle,
right? Because Tyron Smith is their left tackle, I think it is, right? So and he's off injured, so he might not even finish the game. But here's the one thing that I want everybody to pay attention to, and I don't give a damn if we're in the world of modern science or not. Anytime we seen a quarterback tear their Achilles, they ain't the same when they come off of that shit. So we're looking at two, I guess you'd say top 15 quarterbacks that's coming off Achilles injuries and Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers. Last time I saw a quarterback, a top 10 quarterback tears Achilles, that motherfucker was never the same. And that's Dan Marino. So it remains to be seen if the practice tape that you see from these guys from the social media, the great social media talents on these teams, it remains to be seen if you're really going to see that once it is full speed. And that's another reason why I would not put Aaron Rodgers in prime time.
Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, no, I disagree on the Lions-Rams game. Like, I don't think it's about the angle. I think it's just two really good teams. And, Sean McVay, one thing we know, he's going to coach his ass off. So it's going to be entertaining from an offensive standpoint. The whole Aaron Rodgers thing is weird to me because I think it's to the point now where it's kind of like how Money Mayweather was at the end of his career, where Roger Goodell knows people fucking hate Aaron Rodgers, but they still going to tune in to watch. Like, whether they rooting for him or against him, mainly a lot of people now rooting against him, they still gonna tune in and watch. So that matchup makes sense. Packers and Eagles, the Brazil thing is just further proof that the NFL really can't be stopped at this point. Like, it's just a matter of if, not when, and then where they want to expand, because they can do whatever they want to do. So hopefully those teams keep them boys out the brothels down there. Keep everybody's head on straight, and it'll be a good game. Chiefs Ravens, we talked about that last week, bro. I think that'll be a decent game, but every time we count out Pat and say, oh well, the Ravens got something for them. One is week one, so if they do win, it don't mean shit. But two, this is usually the time Pat gonna drop, like you said, 3 touchdowns, 325 on them, and then we sitting here with the same stupid look we have on our face every time we doubt the Chiefs.
Yeah, who's we?
Most of us. I did it a couple times. I'm done.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, y'all niggas did not me.
I don't want to see the Lions, and I don't want to hear Eminem album. So,
by the way, anybody who's watching this show on my personal Facebook, I apologize. The stream stopped. Blame Zuckerberg. Don't blame me. Go on the Barbershop Facebook to watch it. Whatever. But anyway, let's go to the international schedule. It's 4 international games, weeks 5 through 10. Well, week 5, week 7, week 5, week 6, week 7, and week 10. 3 London games, 1 in Munich, Germany. First one will be week 5, more Aaron Rodgers, Jets and the Vikings. Week 6 will be my personal debut in London, my personal debut outside of America. The Bears taking on the Jaguars.
God save the king, nigga.
Caleb versus Trickoff Trev. Then week 7, they're sending Drake May against Trickoff Trev again. And then this game, somebody said on Twitter, was America declaring war on Germany, Giants and Panthers.
Yeah.
Why are you sending Daniel Jones and Bryce Young?
Yeah. Let's address that real quick. To anybody saying that the Germans don't deserve to be subjected to the Giants and the Panthers? Yes, they absolutely do. Check the history. They deserve every bit of this fucking game. So cheers to Germany.
My personal opinion on this international slate, outside of Bears Jaguars, I don't care because I'm not going to be up there early to watch those games anyway. So that just doesn't really matter to me. I am looking forward to the Bears game in London because I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to enjoy myself. And honestly, the football game comes second in this, but I do think this will be a good matchup between these two teams. And yeah, man, if you're in Germany and you got to watch Daniel Jones versus Bryce Young, I mean, it is what it is. That's just really what I got from that. Courtney, did you have any other take on the international schedule besides what you just said or no?
Yeah, wait. So the Jags play in London in week 6 and week 7?
Yeah, so according to
they just
have permanent residence.
They might as well just stay there forever.
Nobody's gonna miss them to Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's Jacksonville. Just go ahead. Let's just restart NFL Europe and get that going again.
Oh man, I miss NFL Europe.
Yeah. Let's just do that again.
That international division is coming. I think that Roger Goodell is pretty much there. Yeah, but Bang, what you think about the international slate? By the way, all these games on NFL Network.
Yeah, you said it. Only game I really give a damn about is Bears Jaguars. Don't give a damn about Patriots Jaguars. Only thing about Patriots Jaguars is even though that game last year happened in Germany, I think that they're gonna want to get that international game back. And they're going to want to beat the Jaguars. So it might be a bit more competitive than we think. The Jets, Vikings, don't care. Giants, Panthers, I think that's wrong. I think that's
Aaron Rodgers versus J.J. McCarthy don't move you?
No.
Ew.
Not at all.
Nothing about J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings moves me.
No. I mean, it might move me to see him throw 4 interceptions on a screen that looks different than America. Outside of that, yeah, the NFL should be ashamed of themselves sending Giants, Panthers to Germany. No, that's a game. They should have did that game in like Chile or some shit.
And also, if anything, they should have done it earlier in the season. Like week 10, you might not even see Bryce Young. It might be like the mangled remains of his body.
Not too much on Duval. I don't want no smoke in Florida. You niggas have 100-degree weather all year, so who knows crazy stuff y'all do? I don't want no smoke in Florida.
Look, I will tell all of my homies in Florida what I just said right now, even though they're all in Miami, Daytona Beach, yeah, they in the crazy parts. So I'll tell them too, but they don't care about Jacksonville either. Like Jacksonville, like that shit's better off in Alabama if that's the case for them.
Yeah, that doesn't move me.
Shout out to Amp, Random Action Podcast.
They are in Jacksonville. Okay, my bad, family. My bad, family. I apologize.
Right, no, but no, the league, they do this on purpose. They all the international games are usually trash games. Like even when I went over there, it was Bears Raiders, and we were both bad that year. So like this is a normal for the league. Like you said, I'm really excited about the Bears game because I plan on actually remembering this trip. I was actually so intoxicated last time. I just feel like I woke up in the second half inside of Tottenham Stadium. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing.
That's gonna be me week 2 in Houston.
Bro, when I tell you Kyle sent me a video of me standing on top of the bar with my Khalil Mack jersey in my hand.
I remember that video.
We're returning to Mack plan. It was my birthday, bro. I don't remember shit else. But nah, that's gonna be a good trip. So I think that Bears game is gonna be good. Also because I think the Bears are just gonna be entertaining this year. I think they're gonna be a really entertaining team. So that game is gonna be good. But yeah, it's a lot of stinkers on this international list. But the league does that because teams are real picky about the revenue. Scott, last year the Bears could have played the Chiefs in Germany, but the Chiefs was like, nah, we want that revenue. So they had that game in Arrowhead. So this is definitely done on purpose.
Instead, they had that game in Arrowhead in 100-degree weather. I almost tore my ACL in that crappy parking lot in the Kansas City. Have you seen that parking lot? They share a parking lot with the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
It is the worst thing ever. It's terrible.
Bro, And they stuck there too, low key.
Sucks for them. But let's get to the Thanksgiving Black Friday schedule. So kicking off Turkey Day in Detroit, once again the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions, Caleb Williams, Jared Goff. This is fine for me because my auntie live in Detroit, which means I'm still gonna have a home cooked meal on Thanksgiving anyway. So I don't lose in this situation whatsoever. Then you got the mid afternoon game, Giants and Cowboys in Dallas, and then the nightcap. Who wants to spend Thanksgiving in Green Bay? Definitely not somebody who live in Miami, but they got the Packers and the Dolphins in the nightcap. Hopefully, Tua's brain is still attached to his body. He can actually play this game, going up against Jordan Love and the Packers. And then on the next day, Black Friday, exclusively on Amazon Prime, it will be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. For Thanksgiving schedule, I think this looks pretty good. I know a lot of people say, I don't want to see Cowboys Giants. I have no problem seeing Cowboys Giants. I have no problem seeing NFC East games because they always end up competitive, no matter how stinky Daniel Jones is. I think this will be a good game. I think all three of these games will be good games. And the Black Friday game, actually, even though the Raiders don't have a QB, they always play the Chiefs hard. We know what happened on Christmas last year where they snuck that win out. So I think that'll be a competitive game as well. I'm going to go to Bang first. Bang, what you think about the Thanksgiving Black Friday schedule?
Oh, man. Let's go back to the Thanksgivings where we got to go against the Lions, except this time we just beat the shit out of them. Look, the Bears Lions. Let me just. I think it was. I can't remember what year it was, but it was the early 90s. And man, they stressed my father out. They stressed my father out because they was like Barry Sanders put a whooping on my dad. So watching the Bears versus the Lions on Thanksgiving always made me nervous and still continuously makes me nervous because of Barry Sanders. So this feels like a Thanksgiving where I'm going to be happy, going to be looking at this, and I'm going to be filled with joy for the rest of my natural life, or at least for the next 15 years. So I am excited for this Thanksgiving slate, including my Bears versus the Lions, and we've really had the Lions number. Giants, Cowboys, I'm cool with seeing the NFC East affair. Dolphins, Packers, whatever. If I could see the Packers, look, if I could see the Bears win and the Packers lose, you know what? That would be Black Friday.
Yeah, but Tua in that November cold.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but if that happens, I'm just saying, if that happens, that's like getting a 90-inch television on Black Friday at Best Buy for $30, which goes into Black Friday. The Chiefs and the Raiders. Hey, man, that game, if I were able to make a prediction
it's gonna be
on one game this year, the way that this is set up for the Raiders to get beat by 50 points.
Wow, you think a blowout?
You saw what happened last year when the Chiefs played the Raiders?
Yeah, they won on Christmas.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chiefs gonna beat the shit out their ass. Yeah, I'm saying, I will put the over on that bitch right now. Pat and them gonna embarrass them dudes on Black Friday. Just bet on it right now.
Okay. Courtney, what you think about the Thanksgiving Black Friday slate?
It's looking like I have a perfect time for a nap in between the first game and the third game, because I'm not watching Giants Cowboys.
I was gonna ask you where you're gonna go to the game.
You know, I would go if it were free. Maybe. I did have a great time last year. Like Commanders, Cowboys, the tradition itself, it's very, very cool. It's a total production. Shout out to their game press team out there because they put on a great production. But I will probably watch from home this year. And yeah, I'll be napping during that time because I don't want to watch Daniel Jones. That sounds terrible. That Black Friday game though, I'm with Bang though. That I feel like you got to make a point considering what happened last year. So yeah, I feel like you got to make a point.
Yeah, them niggas made a recap video on Instagram too.
Right,
so you might be right, Bang.
So that game's gonna be nasty.
That nigga Antonio Pierce put some Kendrick on his IG story. I'm like, you might be right. You might be right.
It's gonna be nasty.
Dante, what you think about this slate?
I fuck with it. I think, quietly Lions Bears could become. I mean, we already have our built-in rivalry, but I think that's one of the teams, one of the matches we could see flexed into more national spots down the road, simply because it's gonna be two exciting teams, and I think these will be the top two teams in the division. So I really like that matchup. Giants Cowboys, like we said, we know what we're getting with the NFC East. I'm not a fan of either team. I think the Giants are gonna be actually pretty bad, but some when two mid teams come together, you always get a good matchup. That's what we see with the NFC East. Dolphins Packers. It's in Green Bay.
Yes, it's in Green Bay.
Oh, they fucked. That's that. I already know.
That's what I said. It's cold weather.
Yeah, that's
Niggas
not
eating
gonna be fun for
Thanksgiving at
Tua at all.
Applebee's.
Yeah, that's super dead. Everything closed at 10 o'clock after the game.
They ain't even got an Applebee's in Green
Cold
Bay.
and sad, nigga. No,
They got a B-dubs. They ain't got no Applebee's up in there.
They got an Outback.
No, keep that.
I ain't see no Outback when I was there.
Ponderosa.
Them niggas stopped selling alcohol at 8 p.m.
Oh, that's a wrap.
Yeah, man. Let's move on to the next. Now, this is kind of like a two-part thing right here because I'm gonna name the Christmas schedule, but I want to get into a conversation about the new Christmas deal. So, we've got the Christmas schedule. It will be the two-time defending Super Bowl champions going against who I personally feel will be Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Russell Wilson is still playing on Christmas Day, he either balling or Justin really bad in practice. One of the two. And then the nightcap, CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans going up against MVP Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. But here is the new thing. This will be exclusively on Netflix. There was a newer deal announced this week that I think I don't know if it was $300 million. I think it's like $150 million per game. I could be off.
It's $150 per game.
$150 per game. Thank you, Courtney. For this new deal with the NFL being on Netflix. Now, don't know if you guys have been paying attention. In order to watch every game in the NFL season this year, you're gonna number one need cable. You're gonna need YouTube TV to use league, what's called not League Pass, Sunday Ticket. You're gonna need Peacock, gonna need Amazon Prime, gonna need Netflix, and I think you're gonna need not Apple TV, not yet, but those are streaming networks. You're gonna ESPN Plus to watch this total thing. Now I have been yelling like an old man yelling at the sky for the last year and a half, talking about the future of streaming and sports, and it is coming to a head right now. I saw a lot of people upset about it on the timeline, as we're also seeing the little media war that's going on with the NBA, in which looks like inside the NBA will be gone, like we said last week. It is what it is. Do I think it's bad? I don't even know if I'll consider it bad. Now, I got called a capitalist when I said this in the conversation I had this week. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's a new way to look at stuff.
Yeah.
You got to understand the NFL is a cash cow. It is a business. Business don't care about what you can afford. Business doesn't care about what makes your situation better. This is just how it is in America in general right now. Eggs cost $10, but there is a demand for the NFL. They know that they can say NFL is going to be on Discovery Plus or whatever. People are going to pay for it. Everybody complained about those playoff games on Peacock this past postseason, and it was the most watched thing in the history of streaming. And Netflix, I'll give Netflix this. Over the last couple of weeks, I've seen their live streaming is very clean, very crisp. The Tom Brady roast went very well. John Mulaney's Everybody's in LA talk show he had for a week, that live stream went very well. And then, of course, we just have the WWE Raw deal that's going to kick in next year. So now you got this thing where you got wrestling getting in on it. You got the number one longest viewed episodic show ever in WWE Raw. It's going to be exclusively on Netflix. And now you've got the NFL. This is Christmas. Everybody got Netflix, whether legally or not, or on somebody else's account. Everybody got Netflix. I expect those streaming numbers to be crazy. NFL and the Netflix are going to parade that out in general. And I don't want to say people accept it or embrace it, because I understand people's being upset, but this is just the future, bro. It is what it is. And to me, as a fan, as a consumer, long as the production and the presentation is clean, I don't have a problem with it. I like Amazon Prime's production, what they did with Thursday Night Football. I watched Caitlin Clark play the Liberties last night. That production, that presentation was smooth as well. So as long as it looks right and they have the right people around it, I personally don't have a problem with the streaming, but I get why people are upset. But it's also a new era, man. That's just really where everything is coming about, as you just see in entertainment and media in general. I want to go to Bang first because Bang, you are our resident Tom Wamsgans. What do you feel about this new deal and the future of streaming for the NFL and sports?
It is what it is. Get used to it. I remember when we used to see the NBA on network television often. I remember when we used to see it on local television often. The WGN is the reason why a lot of people are Bulls fans and Chicago Cubs fans right now. Do we see games on WGN Channel 9 anymore? No, we do not. I remember even before that, it used to be on WFLD Fox 32. Of course, we don't see that then. I remember watching the NBA on NBC on Sundays. I would go for my cousin's crib. We will hoop, and then we'll be done hooping when the NBA and all that stuff. And yes, Alex, I remember when I heard the MLB on AM radio. It's still on a lot of AM radio stations. So that was actually kind of a bad joke right there. You can still hear that on, but I know what you were saying. Basically, what I'm saying is that hey, it moved on. Right, it went from WGN to Sports Channel. Sports Channel turned into Comcast Sportsnet. You have a lot of leagues that have their own networks and stuff right now. So you change with the times. Hey, nobody asked y'all last to love Netflix. Nobody asked y'all last to love Hulu and Disney Plus and YouTube and all of this. So hey, if you want to blame somebody, hey y'all,
blame yourself.
Blame yourself. Why? Because you spend money for all of these streaming platforms. You love it. And guess what it does? It puts more money in these streamers' pockets, and then these streamers go, well, shit.
This works.
This works. Well, let me go ahead and do more. So, yeah, you can't cry about what you helped create. Y'all built this monster. So, since y'all built this monster, y'all gonna help continue to feed this monster. I'm excited to see how this looks from a broadcast perspective. I'm excited to see how this looks on some of these platforms. It was interesting to see Caitlin Clark on this, like right in the front. Like you logged on that day.
Yeah, the Amazon production last night against Liberty was clean.
Yeah, like all of this stuff is clean. So you might get more bang for your buck. But yeah, I mean, yeah, shouts out to Wayne Larrivee and Dan Roan and all of those folks. But that day is over with now. You about to watch Iron Eagle on your favorite streaming channel because y'all helped build this monster.
And can I just say something, Bang, real quick? You niggas use Netflix to watch Bridgerton anyway. Cut it out. Cut it out. You got it anyway. Before I go to you, Courtney, real quick, I just want to say this comment.
I'm glad Courtney's on mute.
Yeah, Courtney.
Not so fast, my friend. Bridgerton is elite content.
Bridgerton used to be elite content when they took old boy off, but that's a whole different
about English. You talking about softcore porn? That's what Bridgerton is. Let's be real. Bridgerton is the return to softcore porn. Bridgerton is Red Shoe Diaries, the English version.
Bridgerton is medieval real sex. That's what that is.
Yeah, I saw one of the first softcore porn movies I saw. One of the first softcore porn movies I saw involved English people having fake sex. So that's what Bridgerton is to me.
I don't even want to know.
Hold on, I just want to just comment real quick. The real Jalil put as a Comcast employee, they are coming for more, especially after the success of the playoff game on Peacock. It's great, and that's our team. Yeah, it's something that's going. I've heard a lot of people been saying the same thing. But let's go to Dante, then we'll go to Courtney, and then we'll wrap this up, and we'll bring in Illy to talk some NBA. But go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sign of the times, like you said. Everybody was talking about cutting the cord, but low-key, they just, hit a Euro step on us and recreated cable. Now everybody's making packages. All this shit costs the same. Like, I sat down and looked at it like, damn, when I first got YouTube TV, I think it was like $49.99. This shit like $80 now. Mm-hmm. So, like, once you add the league pass, once you add your, stars, you paying the same thing you was paying with cable. So I mean,
package, nigga.
Yeah, but I got Google Fiber, so say all that shit add up to be the exact same thing. So it's one of those things where as fans of sports, as people who consume the content, we kind of have no choice. Either you got to go, get you a VPN and start illegally streaming shit. But even with that, with live sports, bro, I can't do the whole super delay. Even with me cutting the cord and doing this shit now, it's not the best. It ain't the best.
Bro.
You sometimes you can't talk to niggas like you saw when we were watching the draft together. Everybody was on a completely different page.
Like, and last one of us was like, don't say nothing.
I did beat that, and I'll say this: as somebody who never cut the cord, I feel like Thanos in Endgame. You could not live with your own failure. So where did that bring you? Back to me. You niggas got to pay for the cable again. But Courtney, let's get your opinion, and we'll get you up out here. We know you got stuff to do tonight.
Man, I'm not paying for nothing. If it ain't on Streamies, I ain't watching. That's all I got.
So Courtney just told you she would not be on season 5 if I'm not gonna hold you.
No, the thing is, it will be there. I just think it's so nonsensical for me to have one platform for this and one platform for that. And whoa, got for that Wednesday game that's on Christmas, that's so stupid, man. I don't want. It wasn't that the point of having like the NFL pass was for me to not have to worry about it. If I just bought this $200-something package, I didn't have to worry about doing anything else. But now you're selling the rights to the highest bidder, and now I gotta go do what, bro? I'll go to Twin Peaks. I'm not doing all that.
Damn, should I go tonight?
You should. I love Twin Peaks. Those Nashville hot wings are fire.
Yeah,
I would say this.
Always cold. I don't.
I'll close it up with this. The actual slate, yo, Dante be smashing when the camera not on. Is always
no. We're gonna put a clip together. I be eating every episode, Jay. I swear to God,
every episode.
At the end of the season, we're gonna do a Dante Eats reel. When we find every show with Dante smashing some Uber Eats. But the actual Christmas schedule, I think is solid. I think Chiefs Steelers will be good. I think the Steelers defense will keep them in that game, whether it's Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. And then Texans Ravens is good. That's you got Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. And now remember we used to be where black quarterback matchups used to be, we don't get those a lot. Now we get them all the time, which I think is amazing. And you're gonna see CJ Stroud going up against Baltimore, and that's definitely gonna be the I've been drinking for 8 hours game. So shout out to that, man. I think it'll be a good actual game. I'm looking forward to family members saying, how do you wish your Netflix password? Y'all ain't got this up front.
And now
you can't even do that anymore.
Now user
in the house because we have
in the house. But user to user's point, you do gotta think it's Fox, Warner, and ESPN that's combining to do some streaming thing. They announced the name of it the other day. You have a couple of people that's looking to do something through Comcast and everything. Hey, somebody is going to swallow all of these streamers up, and then it's going to be like 1 or 2
that
more
was
streams.
crazy.
I know you said pause. That was crazy.
But that was crazy.
Y'all too damn old.
That's crazy.
That was crazy. That was insane. But Courtney, we're gonna get you out of here. Let them know where they can follow you. We do know Hot Corner is coming. We're just waiting for Mikey to get off IR. We didn't want to start the pod with him. Pod without him was supposed to drop today, but it's coming. But let them know where they can get in tune with you and everything you got going on.
Yeah, you can follow me on X and Instagram at 1-800-CALLA-BRO. We are private right now, but that's because I'm in the middle of some important work stuff and people are crazy. So,
yes, they are.
But I am still active. You just might have to follow me and I might have to approve it. Just make sure you're not a total weirdo or somebody with a fence fit. That's all.
Basically, don't be Orlando. Anyway.
Justice for Orlando.
Don't be Orlando. Anyway, Courtney, we will holler at you on Monday. So enjoy your weekend.
Also, fuck Harrison Butker.
Go Stars. Yeah, exactly. Go Stars. So yeah, we'll holler at you next week.
Stars in 6, baby. Let's go.
So we are going to switch to NBA talk as we're going to bring in our it said hold on who's right, exactly. We got the one and only, the boy Illinois in the house. Illy, what's going on? First of all, we got to do the drink champs. Make some noise. The man, the myth, the legend.
I'm about to start singing the theme song in this motherfucker.
You feel me?
Live and out.
It's on streaming, so go stream it up.
It's on streaming right now. The man behind the amazing theme song for this show. Illy, man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed. It's we finally getting some warm weather consistently. I'm loving it. I'm here. What's up, man? NBA
Definitely.
basketball.
Let's get into some NBA talk. Even though we spent the first hour talking about the NFL, because that's what we do.
Hey Scott,
On this show.
hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
hold on real quick, Illy. As don't nobody watch WNBA more than me besides you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Earlier we were talking about the leagues
Yeah,
and how
Illy
you
got to
feel
take the
about
victory lap. Yeah.
how you feel about the gate. First of all, just the coverage in general, and how you feel about the gatekeeper that's been going on with the season that just started.
Well, first of all, I really appreciate the coverage. I knew this was coming with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and this is the start of the flood. Because WNBA had great players, they just didn't really have any personalities outside of the game of basketball. And if you want to sell and market a product, that's what you need. The gatekeeping is something that is going to happen because people's like, no, we was here first, or this is ours, and like that's not how you grow a business. You don't gatekeep. You can't gate like a new artist comes out like, no, he can't get any bigger. He still want to be independent. No, it's about making money. So it's something that's going to blow over eventually. My season tickets are secured. Shout out to the Chicago Sky. So I will be at almost every game.
I will be texting you when this show is over because I'm trying to hit some of them games.
So, yeah, let me know.
I will be hitting you up. But also what you said too, like I remember you said when you were on the show last time about, artists need to show up. Big shout out to Lotto. She said, I'm here for Angel Reese.
And at first WNBA, it's going to be a lot of firsts this year, which I said they needed brand deals. Skims came through, which made sense because they represent the NBA as well. But it makes tons of sense.
Shouts out to that campaign too. Shouts out to that campaign too.
Shouts out to that campaign.
And I'm awaiting Fenty and Ivy Park next, and I still need Mitchell and Ness throwback. I want a Cheryl Swoops throwback jersey, so I'm waiting on that. Teresa Weatherspoon, that would be a great.
Not only they got the Skims partnership, Kim Kardashian showed up to the first Sparks game.
You feel me?
Kim Kardashian came out to Long Beach. It probably take a lot to get Kim Kardashian out to Long Beach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That to do something to show face. Oh yeah. Shout out to the WNBA is on their way.
Definitely, man. So let's talk about the NBA. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs, and I want to start this off with a team that Illy, you're very fond of, the Cleveland Cavaliers. There is some drama going on in the land. Brian Windhorst. What is that?
No, Go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say, Brian Windhorst has been on the story. He's been on local Cleveland radio. And we know that Donovan Mitchell missed the last couple games of the series against the Celtics. Evan Mobley ended up missing the game. Karis LeVert missed the game. And there's a lot of drama. Darius Garland did not have a good year. Terrible playoffs. And now there's the rumor that Donovan Mitchell is primed to sign that $205 million contract extension. I know everybody talks about Cleveland, but I would live in Idaho for $205 million. So if I'm Donovan, I sign on that dotted line too. The rumor is they're going to break that core up a little bit, send Darius Garland up out of there. Evan Mobley's people, and the rumor is he didn't even want to be on Cleveland to begin with. People were telling Cleveland not to draft him. This was smoke with him. And now Donovan's doing the whole, I never said I wanted to leave thing. From a team that I feel had so much potential when Donovan first got traded there, the way they went out in the playoffs last year, the way they went out in the playoffs this year, and I know that Orlando's a good young team. That series probably still shouldn't have won 7, and then what just happened in the series against Boston. What do you think, Illy, about the season they had and just the drama that's going on right there in Cleveland?
Well, I feel like when Darius Garland came back from his injury last year, he wasn't the same player. I still am, but this year he's falling off. Darius Garland is falling way off. I was watching that last game against Boston, and he kept trying to dribble, drive past Al Horford, and it just wasn't working. I'm like, nah, bro, you step back, shoot the ball, whatever you got going on ain't working. I don't know what it's going to take for him to get back to where he used to be pre-injury of last year, but I don't know. I would sign and trade Donovan Mitchell. I don't think Donovan Mitchell makes teams better. He shoots a lot, and he does not pass the ball. I don't know. Bring Braun back just for shits and giggles. I don't know. Mobley, he showed me one game that he had some confidence in the post to score, but other than that, he's not a good rebounder. His hands are real iffy. That team is just potential. That's all. You know, when you date a girl that got potential and then just never shows anything past the potential, that's the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's like, I was supposed to get better than this, and it didn't. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel too like with
that's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Instagram, but in real life, it's like, nah, I don't think I want to be with this. So, yeah,
it's a Garland for Jamal Murray. Well, you think the Nuggets on crack? Like, what kind of?
Yeah, I know you're playing bad, but relax, my nigga. That don't even make sense.
What are we doing? Like, what?
Hell no.
Absolutely not. I'm not trading Garland for Kobe White right now. If I want to be 100% real with you, like, what are we doing right now? But
yeah, man, that's how bad. And I'm a big Garland fan, and I wouldn't do that. I don't know.
I mean, I look at it as this, man. I think that they just kind of like they are who they are. I'm not a big Donovan Mitchell fan. I've been on record saying he's like Dwayne Wade if he didn't have talent. But I like there's a lot of Knicks fans who are thirsty for Donovan Mitchell, and I don't understand why. I think he would take away from the good things that Jalen Brunson does. Now, having said that, if I'm Cleveland, I would probably pay him, because if you don't pay him, where do you go? If you trade him, you're not going to get the actual, what's the word I'm looking for? The actual, compensation that you want for him. I don't think that will be something that you're going to get. So I kind of feel you're stuck in this situation. I would definitely break up him and Darius Garland, see what you can get for Darius Garland. Maybe you can send Darius Garland to a team that is younger. I wouldn't mind seeing Darius Garland in San Antonio. Maybe he can play better with Wemby. They're looking for a point guard to match over there with Wemby. Maybe that works. I don't know. That'd be something I would definitely investigate if I was Cleveland.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I think that works. I like that way better than the Trae Young thing. And I think Trae Young is good, but Trae don't match with Wemby, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, they've already said they don't want Trae Young. They said that whole interest is overstated by the media. That's not what they're interested in trying to do.
Yeah, man. I just think the Cavs are a mess. We're gonna get into the Bron part of this in a minute, because you cannot fool anybody, Raymond. I am very aware of your game and what you're trying to do. But Dante, what you think about this situation in Cleveland?
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, what are we building towards? That's the thing about the NBA. Because one thing we always say, you hate teams that are in the middle. And granted, they were the 5 seed, correct?
Yeah.
So you're literally in the middle. Like, I understand we have to play in and all of that, but you're in that space where
Orlando 5. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you were toward the top 4, but at the same time, does re-signing Donovan Mitchell push that needle to where you can now compete with those top 3 and like seriously compete with them, especially the top 2 teams in the division? Because once you graduated from being a play-in team to now we're a playoff team, the next step is naturally to be a championship contender. So if you don't think giving Donovan Mitchell $200 million does that, I'm just wondering, what do they have in mind when they say they're going to reshuffle the other pieces? Because it's like, what is the true value of Evan Mobley when you had half of the league shitting on him, saying that, he regressed this season? Yep. Like you said, you talk about Garland and he wasn't able to put up the numbers. So we still have the potential, but how long can you live off what if? How many people are willing to say, well, I can go get this out of him, as opposed to one a ready-made, ready-to-go player? So I think it's interesting. I'm not a fan of Donovan Mitchell. Like, as much as I try to shoot him bail, and like, especially with all of the way when he was in Utah, they gave him all of the praise and they gave Rudy Gobert all the blame, which I thought was some bullshit.
Niggas just don't like Rudy.
That's they just don't like him. But just even still, just using that situation as an example. So if I'm Cleveland, bro, I think right now Donovan Mitchell is the most valuable asset you have. So I'm with Illy, bro. I look for a sign and trade. I'm looking to get pieces back, because before he got there, they were still a nice young up and coming team. That was an exciting team to watch play.
So here's my question for you: if you trade him, you're probably not like what do you expect in the Donovan Mitchell package? So in this situation, you're keeping Darius Garland, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can also package Donovan with Mobley and ship both of them off.
That's something that also kind of
depends. And you like, all right,
I think that depends on what your belief is in Garland. Like, if you feel like he can be that guy, then I'm not mad at that. I think the Cavs in a situation where just like the LeBron era over, nigga. So it's like you're not gonna get into like that championship tier. So it's like you either be really bad or just be fine with just being middle of the road. And that's a very dangerous place to be in the NBA. The place that's the Bulls' ceiling to be where the Cavs at. Like that's the niggas' ceiling. And they can't even get to that. But I don't want to rant on the Bulls again. But Bang will be back in a minute, by the way. He had to take care of some stuff with kids. But he'll be back. But I want to talk about Mr. LeBron Raymond James. Now, I have said on record that I am LeBron James hater class of 2002. Now, the last couple years, haven't been hating as much as I used to. I've accepted that, it is what it is. But he was at the game 3, this past Monday, watching the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the excuse that they gave was, we were in town for Mother's Day and we just wanted to check a game. Yeah, okay, LeBron. I remember last time, 10 years ago, when you came for Big Z's jersey retirement and then you signed with the Cavs a couple months later. Nothing LeBron James does is just out the blue. Everything he does is calculated. Like, you got that seat right away. I'm pretty sure that, if that was something that you just put together last minute. You have Rich Paul there. Like, that to me is showing your hand in general. Now, do I think he's coming back to Cleveland? No. But the nigga's up to something. He's always up to something. And to me, that was his way of telling Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, okay, nigga, keep playing with me. I'll come back home again. He's showing his power once again. Now, I'm going to take the most powerful brand in basketball and show you that I still run y'all, and y'all going to do what I want y'all to do, or I'm going to go back home. That's how I took it. Illy, how did you take LeBron's appearance in Cleveland this past Monday?
I agree. Everything's calculated. I don't know what he's up to, but he's up to something. He just don't let's go to a Cleveland game. Yeah, cool. Yeah, a playoff game where it looks like it was at these great seats here courtside. Yeah, nah. And with Rich Paul being there too, it's like, all right, come on, guys. What are you guys up to? You guys talking to Donovan? Are you guys trying to, like you said, push the, hey, check what I can do. Jeannie, I can leave if you don't get me nobody that can really help me. So I don't know. I just know he's up to something, and it looks suspicious.
It looks very suspicious. Very suspicious. You are not low LeBron. And he over there with the coffee, water, wine combo. Some of the, who drinks that? Like, have you met 30-year-olds? That ain't nothing. I do the same thing, LeBron. You're not special. I can do wine, coffee, and water too, nigga. Like, it's not special. Go ahead, Dante. You on mute.
I'm about to say it sounds good, but we ain't getting no whole bottle in the arena, my nigga. Like,
no, of course not.
My boy had the whole bottle under his seat. I think this is
with the white pants. With the white pants.
Easy. With the white pants, that's confidence, G. But no, that nigga LeBron, this is a power play. This is what he did with the decision. He's showing you that me, LeBron James, I am an entity, and I can use my leverage. And every move I make is going to lead to speculation. It's going to lead to pressure your way because of who I am. So I think this is him telling the Lakers, like, yeah, I want that Kobe deal. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, don't think about saying, hey, LeBron, we want to bring somebody else in. Would you be willing to take a bit of a pay cut? No. I want that Kobe deal. I don't give a fuck how you do it, make it happen. And this is him saying that. And also, like bro said, with Bronny entering the draft, like he made his presence felt because after that Cavs game, he went and watched Bronny at Moody Basketball. So at Moody Bible Institute. So it's LeBron doing what he's done, and as what's really led to the younger generation moving like this, where you are the entity, you are the best player, so you're gonna use what leverage you have. It just so happens that Bron got all the leverage, like he's the face of the league.
Bron just, and this is nothing wrong with this. Like, he's gonna sound like real haterish, but Bron just love attention. Like, my nigga. Like, Illy, I want your opinion on this kind of like a side thing about Bronny. I tried to bring this up on Monday, but Pavi cut me off and said, let's talk about something more important than Bronny's draft stock. But to me, we heard Bronny talk for the first time this week, and I think the kid was very poised. And I just want to say this on record. I'm rooting for the kid. I can only imagine the stress that comes. First of all, the nigga's name's LeBron James Jr. I know we call him Bronny, but the nigga's name's LeBron James Jr. Like, that's a big expectation on your shoulder in general. But I agree with Kendrick Perkins. Brian, why you come to the combine, G? Stay home, G. Like let him do this by himself and not let this be on him. But I feel like the question that asked him was very interesting. Answer is very interesting when he said that, do you want to play with your father? And he's like, nah, I'm just trying to get into the league. Like, I'm not really thinking about trying to be with your father. And I know I used to be 22 too, nigga. I wouldn't want to play with my daddy either. Like, no, nigga. Imagine being in the locker room, your pops in there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to get on some hoes after your daddy. They're like, nigga, no. If I'm Bronny, I probably don't want to play with that nigga either. But Illy, what do you think about Bronny's combine, the conversation around Bronny? Do you think that he's a good prospect? What do you think about that whole situation?
Of course, you're gonna be the media is gonna follow you if you're LeBron James Jr. It's gonna be hype no matter where you're going, whatever you do. I will say this: I don't think, and I've thought this for a long time. I don't think the college game, being good in the college game, automatically translates to you being good in the NBA.
That's true.
The game is much different. It'll be interesting. I've seen some reports about him, showing glimmers here and there during the combine. I'm just interested to see what he's like when there's when he has no collar on him and doing what he's able to do. Me personally, I feel like sky's the limit for him because of who his dad is and how growing up seeing the hard work his father put in and knowing and seeing his conversation and how well media trained he is already as a teenager. He's more media trained than some pros already.
Yeah.
I feel like this. I feel like the NBA gonna make something out of him. It's a good money grab. It's the son of LeBron James. The media is gonna follow him no matter where he go. He can go hoop in China next year, and it's gonna be hella media there. So they're gonna create some type of storyline because we know that's the storylines are run these sports, and drives fans to things. They're gonna come up with something. Make him a media darling in some form of fashion. And I don't know exactly what he will be and translate to the NBA, but he'll be in the league for sure. I thought he was going to pump fake and go back to college for 1 year, but I don't think that's happening now. I would have liked that to happen and just like go. Realistically, he can go to any college he wants to. Yeah. The media is going to follow him there. You can go to Bumblefuck and go ball out, and they're gonna follow you there. So I thought was gonna happen, but I don't think that.
He can go to Kennedy King, nigga. It's gonna be media scrum up in there. Like, niggas be all up over there. But let's go on to the next topic, man. I want to talk about NBA parity because we are officially in, I feel like we back in the 70s again. Like, as far as parity, I know everybody had these complaints about the NBA for years, but we always know it's gonna be LeBron or Steph in the finals, one of those guys. And I've been seeing a little complaints about the parity of the NBA. Me personally, I've enjoyed these playoffs for what it are. For what it is. It's been a lot of blowouts. Last night was ridiculous. We'll get into that game in a minute. But for the most part, I love seeing the injection of the new stars, the new blood, the Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders, everything they got in OKC. The Jalen Brunson storyline. It's been fun watching that instead of worrying about Kevin Durant legacy talk. Can Steph Curry get 5? Can LeBron get closer to Jordan? Like, I'm tired of those storylines, so I like it. But Dante, do you feel that NBA fans really want parity, or is just something people just like to say? I kind of feel like a lot of people are complaining about it.
It sounds good till it actually happens. Like, as much as people hate dynasties, they love dynasties because, like I just said, same way it was with Mayweather, people love to root against somebody. Like, when you don't have that bad guy or that dominant team that continues to win that makes you hate it because your team can't get one, then it's a little bit different when you just have random champions here and there. And, shout out to Adam Silver because this is what he wanted. He said he wanted parity and he's gotten it. We did have the Warriors had their run. We saw LeBron go to as many finals in a row as he did, but at the same time, we had different champions throughout that run. And now we've seen multiple champions from different teams that we normally wouldn't see winning a trophy. So his plan has worked, to perfection. Now with him introducing the play-in, the in-season tournament, so everything he's wanted has happened. And so for me, I'm cool with it, but I think for fans, a lot of people talk about parity, but they don't really like it because now you get, like you said, you get the complaints of who wants to see this matchup and this, that, and the third, and you have people still, longing for those classic matchups in the finals. Like prime example, even with this Eastern Conference Finals, a lot of people want that Celtics Knicks. Even if the Pacers get there, you still have three of the original franchises that had that bring that nostalgia from the 90s that everybody likes to see. So it's interesting when you see people start to root for those old school callbacks when at the end of the day, these were the same people who said they wanted parity. So I think a lot of people just like complaining. Like the parody is cool for me, but for the typical fan, they just like complaining.
Before I go to Illy, I agree with you because parity works in the NFL because it's about the team more than it is the player. NBA is very player driven. So if these players aren't there, the casual fan's not going to care. The casual fan wants to see LeBron or see a Steph Curry or see a Kevin Durant and things like that. And I'm like, one day, Anthony Edwards, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander can be that, but you have to give them the opportunity to be that. And I think that's what I enjoy about it. But you're right. I think the average customer, average NBA consumer, they don't care. It sounds good, but they don't really care about it. Illy, what you think about? What's your opinion on the parity, and do you think fans actually want parity in the NBA?
No, I agree. They just want to complain. I mean, Americans like to complain in general.
Very true.
So complaining is like a sport at this point. People would try to out-complain each other on Twitter, on Instagram, on social media. There's just a lot of complaining. I mean, and then you're not going to satisfy everybody. Even you satisfy this crowd over here, you're gonna not satisfy them, and vice versa. So it's always going to be some type of complaining, as long as the revenue is being brought in, and that's the important thing. As long as you got viewership is going up, if you got merchandise sales going up, X, Y, and Z, as long as that's going up, don't nobody care about complaining. It's all about what's driving the revenue. So
100%, you hit the nail on the head, man. Let's get to our next topic. We are about 2 hours away from tip-off in Indianapolis. I don't even know the name of that stadium. What's the name? Where the Pacers play?
It's something Fieldhouse. It used to be Conseco Fieldhouse, but
we gonna do a throwback today. We old niggas. We gonna call it Conseco Fieldhouse tonight. Game 6. The Knicks trying to close out the Pacers to advance their first Eastern Conference Finals in 24 years, while the Pacers are trying to stave off elimination and push this to a Game 7 on Sunday. As a fan, I'm rooting for the Pacers tonight because I want 2 Game 7s on Sunday. I want me a bottle of Casamigos and 2 Game 7s in 80-degree weather on Sunday. That's what I want for my personal viewing. This series, man, has been entertaining. This series to me has lasted longer. Burning Cross Field House. That's funny. That's a good Indiana joke right there. I like that one. Burning Cross Field House. That's a good one. But I think that this series is going longer than I thought. I picked Knicks in 5 when the series started. I think the Pacers have showed a lot. I think more than anything, the Knicks have just been losing bodies more than this actually being a competitive series. There's a lot of hype around Tyrese Halliburton all season. He, to me, in the words of Mark Jackson on that Knicks Pacers 30 for 30, he wanted no parts of those free throws. That nigga looked like he wanted no part of the lights. He was talking real crazy up 40 last weekend, but then he didn't show up at the Garden whatsoever. He really ain't showed up all series. He needs to show up tonight. I think tonight will be a competitive game. I want the Pacers to win because I want a Game 7. Some tells me tonight the Knicks is focused. I think Jalen Brunson has a big game. I think Josh Hart has a big game. I think Tibbs and the boys find a way to close it out tonight, and they're going to go one-on-one with the Boston Celtics. And I actually think we'll preview that series or, whatever the East Conference Finals is on Monday. But I actually feel that series will be competitive for the fact that we still don't know how good Boston is. Boston ain't had a threat yet. They played the Miami Heat with no Jimmy Butler and other buddy. I forgot the rookie buddy. I forgot buddy name. He didn't play. And then this Cleveland series, you were dead. It was tied series, and then Donovan Mitchell got hurt. So it's like you didn't really get to play the Cavaliers at full strength either. So we don't know how they are. We know if anything, the Knicks are gonna give them a fight. And just from an instigator perspective, I can't wait to troll both fan bases on Twitter. So that will be an entertaining series for me. But I do believe that the Knicks get it done tonight and they close it out. But I'm hoping for a game 7. Dante, what you think about Knicks Pacers and how you got tonight's game 6 going?
It's been a fun matchup, but yeah, at the same time, the Knicks have the only reason it's still going is because the Knicks have had battled injuries. If the Knicks were at full strength, they would have smoked them. They would have smacked them. But I mean, it's the playoffs. You got to go with who you got. I think they close it out tonight. I think Jalen Brunson has another 40 piece. And it's time to put the diamond test on Tyler Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton.
Yes.
He had an amazing first half run. He slowed down toward the end of the season. He's been inconsistent in the playoffs. And like you said, it's been the fact that in these big moments, we relied on this nigga off the bench. Nimrod, that's his name? Nimrod. What's bro name? Yeah, but you relying on buddy off the bench when you're supposed to be the guy. We can't have that. That's not a recipe for winning playoff basketball. So I think the Knicks will get them up out of there, and we get Knicks Celtics.
All right, Illy, man, what you think about tonight?
I got the Knicks. I would love to see a Knicks Celtics. Indiana is fool's gold. I think they've been on the decline ever since after the in-season tournament. Halliburton does talk a big game, but he don't come through when he need to come through. When the game is on the line, you need not be a pass first point guard. You need to go score a bucket. And I don't think he's somebody that's going to be able to get you a bucket now, as of now, when the lights are as bright as they are. Unfortunately, the Knicks are taking a lot of lost L's with the bodies going down. But I never will bet against a Tibbs coach team, especially one that's playing as well as they are. I'm hoping the Knicks pull this out because I do not want to see Indiana anymore. I'm good on that.
You don't want a game 7?
No. Don't drag me out. I don't want to see another game where Evan Turner got 3 rebounds. Nope. I'm good.
Now, Bang is back here to join us for another room because he's parenting.
Bang popped in with the old nigga selfie angle. He got that bitch like this.
Bang, man, what's going on, dog?
Downstairs. Tom told me.
You know this nigga on the phone. This nigga internet. What?
Hold on. I told me to come downstairs. Someone right. Just come downstairs. Man, I come downstairs. The white look. Look behind me, fam. Look behind me, y'all. I don't know if y'all see the little neighbors. I don't want to put nobody kid out there. My bad. But nah, go outside and got the white neighbor on my part of the land.
You said enough of that.
Watching her kids play basketball. She ain't say nothing and shit. My son then drew a goddamn basketball court on the driveway. He getting cooked by the kids across the street. So it's like you shouldn't even do that if you getting cooked. Man, you getting cooked in your own house. Like, nah, I had to stay downstairs for a minute. Like, what the hell?
He lose a home court advantage.
Man, home court advantage my ass. Not when you got kids. Man, I gotta stay downstairs real quick. My bad. What y'all talking about?
When we was talking about the Knicks Pacers game tonight, man, do you think it's going to a game 7?
Oh yeah. I mean, it better because remember I picked the Pacers to win the series, so it better go to 7. I think it will. I think that a lot of these series, and it's been happening for the last couple of years. I don't know why nobody has really discussed it. When a team gets down by a certain amount, they just quit and get ready for the next game. And I think in this case right here, when you are down and it is an elimination game, you can't do that now. So when I looked at what happened with the Knicks Pacers game, the last game, that was just simple preservation in my mind. But you can't do it now and you can't do it at home. So I expect the Pacers to go ahead and bring it to a game 7. But yeah, Illy, you're right, fam. Miles Turner got to stop bullshitting over there and playing soft and actually go out there and get some boards. He's one of the biggest, softest dudes in the NBA to me. Like, go out there and get 8 to 10 rebounds, man. Stop playing. But I think that does happen this game, and I got the Pacers bringing it to a game 7.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, I won 2 game 7s on Sunday. So for my
Oh
personal
yes.
enjoyment this weekend, I want that. But like I said, I do think the Knicks find a way to knock it down. I'm gonna have all my New York homies texting me talking about you feel the energy. You know, New York niggas love saying energy. Like, it's like them
Yeah.
niggas' favorite word. But let's go to tomorrow's game. This to me has probably been the most entertaining series. That is the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. My boy Luka Doncic, Illy's boy Kyrie Irving. They have been. I think last year a lot of people, were talking about the duo, and I was like, "Yo, give them time." Like they didn't have enough time to gel together. After camp, they playing pretty good, but the X factor, PJ Washington playing really well on a team that actually matters. To me, this series is supposed to be over. If they didn't jag game 4, this series should be over. But Luka, he read the tweets, he heard them racist fans in Oklahoma City probably calling him a whole bunch of slurs, Slovenian slurs, whatever it was in the crowd. He was like, "Yo," he said, "Yo, I heard him." He said, "I love it. I love it when y'all, count me out." You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me do what I got to do. So I believe, man, that this series is going to be. I think that they close them out tomorrow. I really do. And I love what OKC has been doing. By the way, I'm a fan of Shay's game. Not really fan of Shay the person. Not I won't say person. I don't know the nigga, but he's too much of a fashionista to me. And did y'all notice? Somebody tweeted this, and I can't get out. He dresses a lot like the R in R&B. He went a lot of aura fits out there. He was at the podium looking real crucial conflict. Like he was looking real Kelly and Rockland at the end of game 4. So I can't get that out of my head. But they've been good. Shane's been hooping. Chet's been good. Jalen Williams has been awesome. But I just think that in the NBA is one of those leagues where you have to go through things before you win. I don't think that's necessarily the case in the NFL. Maybe a little bit in MLB. But the NBA is the peak. You got to lose for you win league. And I just feel like the veteran presence of Luka and Jason Kidd and PJ Washington and Kyrie. Kyrie has won a championship. I think you're seeing a very mature version of Kyrie Irving this year. And his game has been, he looks relaxed, he looks comfortable, and he's finally able to just worry about basketball. And I feel like that has worked tremendously for them. And I got the Mavs closing this out in game 6. And I think they're going to be waiting for Jokic. And that would be a big European Western Conference final between Luka and Jokic. Illy, what do you think about this series and who you got winning in game 6?
I got the Mavs winning. I have been enjoying this series out of all the other series. This is a Spider-Man meme for me with Shea and Luka because they both are floppers that complain a lot. Because that Shea be driving to the hole, I'll be like, dude, stop doing that, please. Stop. You're a great player. That was all people Harden because people call me a Harden hater. I just thought these players are too good to resort to LA Fitness tactics. That's always been my opinion, and I never liked it. I think Luka's a great player, complains way too much, plays for the foul sometimes way too much. PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, the X factors in this series. Daniel Gafford, I feel like he is going to be a problem once he can finish off the pick and roll and it's not a lob. He cannot gather 1-2 and lay the ball up. I saw that a lot in game 2 or 3, and Luka was like, bro, catch the ball, jump stop, then go. And I was like, oh, man. But once he get it figured out, they're going to be a dangerous, dangerous team. This OKC right now is reminding me of the year that they played the Heat. And they just fizzled out. It's like they good, but they don't have the experience yet. And that's how I feel about OKC. They're really good. They just need a couple more L's on their belt, similar to how Boston has been. Couple more L's on their belt, then build as a team. And they're going to be really dangerous in 2-3 years. So, but I got the Mavs pulling this one out. I don't think nobody is going to outduel Luka and Kyrie because I don't think has there been a game in the series where both of them is on point?
No, I think it's not yet.
One or the other.
Yeah, we're due for the big.
So I think it's at that time.
And they got a nice crowd out there in Dallas. I didn't know this nigga Mark Cuban be serving Incredible Hulks at the game. I saw someone at the game like took a picture of the menu. He tried to gentrify it with the lemon twist. But
shout out to my sister, DJ Poison Ivy. She's been a DJ for the Mass for the past couple of years. She came coming up when I used to open up for Lupe. I would get her in all the shows. That's my sister. She does the MCing now, but that's my sister. I want to shout out DJ Poison Ivy.
They shout out to her. Dante, man, how you got Game 6 going?
I got big Luka sending them boys home, man. I think he's gonna close them out. Like I've been saying, with these young teams, it's great to get them on the national spotlight, but at the same time, they got to go through their growing pains. And so this is one of those moments where it seems like damn near everything is going right for OKC throughout the season, and then you get to this series and they kind of get smacked around a little bit, especially in certain areas where they were stronger throughout the season. So I think Luka shuts it down, closes them out, and we get Mavs, and we'll talk about Game 7 in a second, but the Mavs will secure their spot in the Western Conference Finals.
I will say this before we go to Bang. Big shout out to Daniel Gafford. He is a supporter of the brand Pillars. He always rocks the Pillars. Big shout out to Daniel Gafford, man. Who shout out to rocking our sponsors. So big shout out to Daniel Gafford. Bang, man. What you think about this series, man? You think that Big Luka and them close them out, or you think the Thunder got a Game 7 in them?
Hey, man, I picked Dallas in 6, so let's go ahead and get it. I like the Oklahoma City Thunder. I like all of their talent. They got more talent coming. They got draft picks forever. Like they have everybody's draft picks forever, ladies and gentlemen. So they can package and get folks. They can continue to get young. They can replace people, trade people and replace people. Sam Presti and what they did over there is highway robbery, is shit that you see on 2K. That being said, yeah, I thought 6 would be the max because, they'll get a couple of games in, but the team is just too young. It's just one of those teams that has to go through that growing pains, like y'all said, before they get there. And I think this is one of those things. They have to learn how to win in these situations. Kyrie knows how to win. Luka in this situation knows how to win. So when it gets time for the big boy games, the big boy series, which starts right here. I didn't see them winning this series anyway. So I had Dallas in 6, so I'm gonna stick it there. Pause.
Yeah, pause. That
was
your third one today.
My third one today. But the other two I called pause before I said it because
you did, but it was so crazy that we had to say it was crazy.
Hey, but man, the streaming networks are gonna somebody's going to swallow them up.
You had to say it again. But let's go to our final game, man, and we're gonna wrap up this edition of the show before we head over to Patreon and the local hour. We're gonna do a full Bears breakdown of the schedule. We're gonna have a lot of overreactions and break that schedule down game by game. But last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves staved off elimination, blowing the defending champions out by 40. Held them under 80 points, which has not been done. Hurling somebody under 80 points in today's NBA just don't happen. Anthony Edwards, 27 points. And we're gonna talk about Rudy Gobert and getting cooked in Game 5. We got to give him love for him slowing down Jokic in Game 6. Him and Karl-Anthony Towns did a real good job. Nas Reed did a good job. Just an overall good team effort. They took the Wolves, not the Wolves. They took the Nuggets out right away. If I was the Wolves, I'd be scared because I didn't like how Jokic was looking at the end of that game. Just standing at the court like, all right, I'm going to get y'all niggas. Now, Jokic did say in press conference he was just trying to stand up so he didn't cramp before he worked out. But, we're going to go. My story sounds better. So we're going to go with that version of him actually just looking at everybody like Mufasa was looking at Pride Rock. Like, all right, I'm going to get y'all. But I think it was an amazing performance by the Wolves. This series has been a weird one. Not that I expected it to go 6-7, especially with the way that the Minnesota Timberwolves has played, and honestly the way the Timberwolves played in last year's series. Jokic and Mike Malone both said that was the toughest opponent they played in their championship run last year. I think it went to 6 games last year, and that was even without Jaden McDaniels. So that to me knew this was gonna be a long series, but just the way it went was weird. You had the Wolves winning the first 2 games in Denver, then the Nuggets coming, everybody throwing dirt on their name. Jokic winning MVP, they win 3 straight in a row, and now this blowout victory in Minnesota. And just one thing, I've said this before, but one thing I love about Ant, he's a natural born leader. Like, you can't teach that. Like, it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel fake. When they're interviewing him, first thing he's saying, Jaden had a great game. We wouldn't have won without this. Cat did great. Rudy did great. We only, when they asked him what was the main reason you won, we got Michael Conley back. So those type of things I love to see with Ant. I think this team, they need to get. I'm not a belief of, oh, well, this is just a good season. If they lose, yeah, it's a good season, but get it done now. When you get a chance to win, because to me, this game 7 isn't just win to go to West Conference Finals. I think the winner of this game should be the favorite coming out the Western Conference Finals. That's a path for the Nuggets to win back-to-back, and that's a path for the Wolves to do something they ain't done in franchise history. This is their first game 7 in 20 years. The last game 7 was Minnesota and Sacramento, that epic battle between KG and Chris Webber. So if I were them, I'd get it done now, because the same things we're saying about the Wolves, we were saying about the Grizzlies 2 years ago. Then Ja decided to be John Wick, and niggas got hurt, and we don't talk about them no more. So if I'm the Wolves, I get it done now. Having said all of that, I think the Nuggets win game 7. And honestly, I think they win pretty easily. I got Nuggets by at least 15 in game 7. Illy, what you think about this series, what we saw in game 6, and who you got in game 7?
Game 6 was atrocious. I didn't see it until maybe close to halftime. And I was like, this is pretty crazy. I don't know. I don't know which way I'm leaning to with this, because it's been so back and forth. But if I just want to go off of experience, I'm gonna go with the Nuggets. But the way that the Timberwolves look and the way that their defense is looking, I don't know. I think ultimately I'm gonna roll with the Timberwolves, and I feel like that new blood. Now we're gonna get a different NBA champion this year. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Timberwolves. I really enjoyed the way the others, as Shaq likes to put it, the effort on defense. I haven't seen clamps like this, team clamps, in a very long time like this. This was, yeah. The way that they've been shutting them down in the games that they've won, the Timberwolves, they made these guys look like they playing an AAU team. Like, it's been embarrassing. And these are former champions, and they've been embarrassing them. A team is well poised and well head coach very well. You have the 3rd-time MVP in Jokic, and y'all getting y'all ass handed to y'all. This is crazy. I'm going Timberwolves.
Yeah, 40 points should never happen. Like
never.
That's ridiculous. Especially if you're a champion. That should never happen, bro.
Bro, you fight back. What Meek Mill say? Get up.
Get up.
Yeah.
Bang, what you got? You got game 7 going.
Man, like I had said before, I think a lot of these games that end up you end up seeing people win by 20, 30, 45 is because it's self-preservation. Like, all right, we know we lost this game, so let's just go ahead and do what we got to do and get to the next game. I think both of these teams have games like that. So now you leave it all on the court this game. I think it's going to be a close game throughout the entire game. I think it's going to be, matter of fact, I'm confident enough to say this is going to be one of the best game 7s in recent memory.
Okay.
I think this is I will even say this is going to be the best game 7 since Cavs Golden State.
Okay.
Like, I really believe that both of these teams are going to be going up against each other. Just like Joker was sitting up there, standing up the whole game, looking, I don't want to cramp, but really looking intensively like, yeah, I got to get y'all last this next game. I think Ant is doing the same thing. I think Cat is it's weird saying Cat is the X factor, but he is the X factor. If he comes out and plays like we know he can play, then this game is going to be one of the best game 7s in recent memory. And I have the Minnesota Timberwolves winning by 3 points. Okay. It's going to be close throughout, and they're going to win by 3 of them.
Hey, man. So, Dante, you on my side, or am I being outnumbered 3-1 here?
I know you're alone on this one. Ant gonna send them home. Ant sending them boys home. I think he gonna have a really big game. I do agree with Bang. I think it's gonna be a great game. I can't compare it to that Cavs Warriors because in my opinion that's damn near the greatest game 7 I've seen outside of Bull Celtics. Like that was just a great.
That's why I said best since.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's gonna be up there. Yeah. It's definitely gonna be up there. So I can agree with that. But I think Ant made a good point. Getting Mike Conley back, that helps his team a lot. And I think Ant's gonna hit a game winner, send him home. I know it's hard predicting game winners, but I do think it's gonna be close the entire game, and I think he's gonna send him home.
Even though I have the Nuggets, Anthony Edwards versus Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving definitely moves me. That would be highly entertaining. And is my favorite player right now. I wouldn't have a problem with them winning. I just can't bet against the champs at home. I just can't do that, man.
Never underestimate
the heart of
a champion.
I just personally can't do that, but we'll see what goes on, man. We're gonna wrap this episode up. We're getting ready to do the local hour. You can subscribe to the Patreon right now, patreon.com/Barbershop Network. We're going to do a full game by game Bears schedule breakdown. We're gonna put our cards on the table like 5 months in advance on what this season is gonna look like. And we're probably gonna look at the schedule later and laugh at our predictions, but that's what we're here to do. It'll be me, Bang, Dante, and the homie Mike Willis from Pillars. We'll be joining us in the local hour. Illy, man, thank you for joining us per usual. Always great to have you on there. Let the people know what you got coming. I know you work on an album. Let them know everything you got going on right now.
Yeah, man. Shout out to I'm not gonna hold you because it really showed me people still care about me making music. I have a project coming out in July, Hail Part 5, and just follow me until then. I got a lot of. Yesterday I was saying like, you know, I don't be getting my flowers. I be starting a lot of trends. Y'all know, y'all been around, especially Bang and Sky. Y'all been around me on the music.
We're on the same page. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah, a lot of people took a lot from me. I started this. I've been told that I sound like rappers that came after me, which is crazy. I was like, I'm really their dad. Like, that shit crazy. Like, you sound like Chance. I'm like, wow, that's funny because I've been here longer than him. So that's always one that gets.
Don't get me started on that.
No, because I can do a whole pod just on that. Kendrick got me hyped because I was ready to release some diss records, but I ain't gonna go there. But anyway, shout out to everybody. Everybody's lovely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Hail Part 5 in July, man. See y'all then.
Definitely, man. I'm not gonna hold you. The theme song is streaming on all platforms. Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify. Check it out, man. Illy, we appreciate you, bro. We gonna holler at all y'all on Monday. We are doing a local hour now. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barbershop Scott. Follow the Barbershop Network at Barbershop Net. Follow HB Media, HB Media TV on Twitter, HB Media on Instagram. Follow JR Bang at all platforms at JR Bang. By the way, Haymarket Pub and Brewery, May 30th. Some do 200. Come out, get some good food, drink some good drink.
Yeah, I might perform.
Pull up.
Pull up. I'm performing. Hey, I'll be there. Oh, I'll be there. That was a given.
Pull up. We gonna have the homegirl Basha, the label. They gonna be DJing. Fun time. I'll be there. Illy will be there. Nigga Pappy said he probably gonna pull up. Dante might pull up. It's gonna be a whole good time, man. Pull up and they celebrate 200 episodes.
One big ass thank y'all, fam.
Yeah.
One big ass thank y'all.
And it'll low key be half of. And Bang's birthday is on Tuesday, so we have a drink for Bang's birthday as well. So pull up. You can follow Dante at October Zone Tay on Twitter and subscribe to Patreon. Patreon.com/Barbershop Network. The local hour will be up in a couple hours. We're gonna knock that out now. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. We up out of here.